Hey guys, it's Cameron from Desert RC. We're back. It feels like it's been a while since we've been out here, but we're at our usual stomping grounds out by the airport. I did put some Overdrive into bug bite, so we're gonna see how it affects all of the different spots and terrain here. I do have a part number for you guys, so if you're looking for more than just 10% ring and pinion gears and an AR-45 style axle, here's the part number from Power Hobby. Gives you about 20 to 22% overdrive in the axles, and I'm using a deluxe Nod 2 transmission, so I only get my overdrive out of the ring and pinion. So right now we should be sitting at about 32% total overdrive, and let's go see how it affects how it crawls out on the rocks. We may have lost some side hill ability, but let's find out. Now that ring and pinion from Power Hobby does come with all the components you need. The spool, the ring, the pinion gear, the shims. Comes with the hardware, so you don't need to take apart your spool from your existing ring and pinion, which is pretty nice. All right, we gotta come up with a name for this incline over here. You guys wanna help me out with that? Go ahead and leave your names in the comment. This is one of the steepest climbs here at this location. We can call it Ridgeback. We call it the Hump. Every time I make some sort of modification or change, I love coming out to the airport spot, because I know time and time again I can keep trying the same obstacles with each upgrade and have a consistent result. And the same thing with the terrain. Hot, cold, wet, dry, you're gonna get good traction regardless. I'm loving these megalithic tires. Such good grip. Here's another really hard, steep line that a lot of people struggle with. With this added overdrive, we'll see how it handles it. This is what I mean, like Bug Bite is just a refined crawling rig. You point this thing at anything and it eats up just about every line. Now, there is one thing I have noticed in the past is people try to go for that 60-40 weight bias, sometimes more. I feel like the more overdrive you have, the less you have to worry about forward weight bias, because you have the front tires moving faster than the rear. So it pretty much drags the rear everywhere and allows it to squat and pull the back end around. By having higher overdrive, I don't see the need for a heavier forward weight bias. There's so many things that come into play. Shock setup, link geometry, weight bias, overdrive. A lot of different directions to go. If I was trying to build a truck as light as possible, I'd focus more on the overdrive and link geometry and natural weight bias and suspension tuning. That's what I love about this hobby. It's so challenging. So many different tuning setups and options. No tire slip whatsoever. This is just making all the lines look way too easy. We gotta find some harder terrain. I think I'm gonna have to take Bug Bite to an undisclosed location. There's some cliff overhangs, some really steep and technical climbs. I'll have to take you guys back there with me. If you guys have any questions on my product or anything about my channel or what I'm doing, leave your feedback in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Bug Bite is on my own design chassis, Desert RC Coyote chassis. Another thing I don't think people realize is if you're messaging Desert RC, you're talking to me. I'm a one-man operation. I get my wife to help with orders from time to time. Get her to package everything up nicely for you guys. She always throws in some high chews with every order and stickers. And try to get our shipping out as fast as possible. I'll have links in the description to my website. And those of you that have supported me, appreciate you guys a ton. Means a lot to me and my family. You're not only helping me support my hobby, but you're helping support my family. That means a lot for small businesses. The tire's gonna get sucked in there. We're gonna have to straighten it out. Another thing I try to focus on is the camera shots. If you guys have any positive feedback or constructive criticisms, I will take them. And I will try to make my videos better for you guys to watch, because that's what it's all about, is making the viewers happy. and having fun while I'm out here doing this. Especially with a rig like this, I just can't help but smile when I drive this thing. So far, I'm loving the added overdrive in here. I have seen a few comments about people mentioning the weight of these bodies. And this body, the way I have it trimmed and set up, is actually lighter than a Lexan cliffhanger body. So having this sand scorcher body on here has no effect in adding weight up high. Although I did just find an exact mold of the sand scorcher in a Lexan. So I think I may be throwing that Lexan body on here or on the Battle Bug, my portal rig on F10s with my Coyote chassis. I thought Bug Bite was as good as it was ever gonna get until I added this 22% overdrive in the ring and pinion. And man, am I happy with the result I'm getting right now. Driving one-handed does come with its struggles sometimes. But for the most part, if you practice it enough, it becomes easy. If we can get it to settle. It's on the edge of wanting to flip. I think we're good. Yes. Okay, the side hill, we'll be able to test that on the next obstacle after this. So we should see if it still side hills well enough. And if it's been affected negatively, I may consider taking this overdrive out of there and putting the 10% back. But we'll see here. I'm loving how much sharper it's turning around. Sorry for the wind noise. Can't really do anything about that. All right, here we go. This is that hard. Oh, I already screwed it up. Let's reset. Focus on tire placement. Keep that driver as high as possible. And cut in. Okay, I see no negative side effects to running this higher overdrive. As a matter of fact, it's actually doing better because it's helping bring that front end around. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, this one's usually a portal obstacle, but I want to see if we can manage this one with straight axles. We're on SSD Pro 44 axles. I don't know if we can exit this to the right or do we have to follow it to the left. Oh, up and over. Okay. Here's where it gets really crazy. Oh, we're gonna have to get on the other side, figure out what's going on. We're stuck on that edge right there. Let's see if we can turn out of this. Woohoo. Let's see if we can get that hook on the front right. And then we can try to pull ourselves out to the right. Here, let's try this little nub over here. Nope. Alright, so we're gonna have to do what we do with all the other rigs here, is try to hang the front left over this edge and walk it across. It's a hard thing to do with a straight axle rig, but we'll see what we can do here. And I don't think I ever talked about the wheelbase on this one, but this is a 12.3 wheelbase, which is amazing because it does things what a 12.5 or 12.8 wheelbase would do as far as inclines. Hook on that tire right there. Is that our thumbnail right there? I think it is. Yeah, you don't need portals. If you know how to get a straight axle through the same obstacle, you'll be just as good. All right, let's move on. Let's see how steep we can go here. When I film, I always use a gimbal, so you're always getting a true 90 degrees. We're gonna lose it right there. The front end was watching. Well, I've got the perfect spot we can test out. That was definitely a technical spot where Overdrive made that possible. This is that crazy steep spot I was talking about. That's just getting into it too. That's not even the line, but trying to work our rear over. There we go. I think we lost it. Let's see if we can save it at all. Okay, we're not leaving until we figure that one out. All right, round 2. I'm trying to get this front left tire to grab into that little hook right there. But then over here on the front right, we're in a little pocket. So we need to work that tire over without pushing the front left off the edge. And as far as the rears, I gotta keep the rear from getting below that little beige notch. If I do, then we slip to the point of no return. I've only ever made it up this obstacle one time, and it was with this same truck when I was prototyping my Desert RC Coyote chassis. And I had inset wheels, and I was running like a 10-2 style or 3-gear trans. I think it was an Element trans with 12% overdrive and 10% in the rear. And it was a really narrow car back then, and I think that's what helped it get past that little pocket. Right now I've got it set up pretty wide, just because that's what I like to have nowadays, a little bit of width on my rock crawlers for better side hill. And oh, I think we might have to shoot that a little bit back up enough, and then okay, so we finally got the fronts up. What's going on here? Slow and steady. It's pretty steep. I think we're at the point of no return again. We're gonna have to give up on this and come back to it another day. But if you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around to the end. If you're not subscribed, please do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button. But yeah, just leave your feedback in the comments, what you'd like to see more of. And if you have any questions, let me know and I'll get back to you guys. All right, catch you guys next week.